jump on mana just from their hand.
Yeah.
They can jump 3 mana in a turn pretty easily with a Soul Land and a Lotus Petal.
Yep.
Like,
they play, I think, between 6 and 7 soul lands.
yeah, it's often like a guessing game of,
Mm-hmm.
you know, how explosive of a turn can I afford to play around? Maybe I have to just hope they don't have everything.
Yeah. It's a tough spot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
For the question of is Sneak and Show flat out better than Reanimator, I think that Sneak and Show is a better deck, personally.
I think against an open field, I would rather be playing Sneak and Show, yes.
Reanimator, like, is a deck that can win off fewer resources, but I think that it's a deck that loses to itself more often. They are very different decks, but often they play out kind of similarly in that they do something powerful on turn 2 or turn 3 with Force of Will backup.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you were in a field of many combo decks, I would rather be on Reanimator.
I would agree.
If I was in a field with, like a pretty healthy mix, I would rather be on Sneak and Show, I think.
Maybe. I think Sneak and Show is just inherently the more consistent deck. You play way more cantrips.
Yeah, so
And
Reanimator typically plays, 4 Ponder, 4 Brainstorm.
I don't think they play 4. They play 4 Ponder?
Oh, I guess because you have to play Careful Study.
Like, you have to play Careful Study, you have to play a bunch of discard spells, you have to play Entomb.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Reanimator is much better against other combo decks because it's faster.
And it
And
has
it has
disruption
on
like
multiple
a lot of
on multiple fronts.
Yeah.
It has discard and it has forcible. I very much disagree, Gibbous, that Sneak and Show is not more consistent. I think Sneak and Show having as many as 16 cantrips available makes it much more reliable that they're going to find both halves of their combo. 0 Ponder. That's interesting. I definitely think that Sneak and Show is better against Sideboard Hate as well, just because.
Oh, certainly.
Getting like Reanimator is certainly much more reliant on like Graveyard and can be more easily hosed by stuff like by just Graveyard Hate. Like the way that the hate tends to be sidestepped is with Show and Tell, and that can be played around. Like I think Sneak and Show is a scarier deck in general. Oh, Hapless Researcher, that's interesting. I have seen Hapless Researcher in the past showing up in Reanimator. I think Reanimator. I don't know.
It's consistent in that it commonly will get a thing into play, but that thing is a lot of times beatable.
Yeah.
Or at least sometimes beatable.
Sometimes beatable. I don't know. You get like a Grizzlebrand into play, are you really going to lose? Probably not.
If it's revokered.
If it's revoked and then you Karakas it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what about Elishnor?
Yeah, that's a problem. I don't know. Like...
Personally, I've never been a fan of Reanimator. Just because
a lot better when you had Mystical Tutor.
Well, obviously. What was worse when you had Mystical Tutor?
Yeah.
I don't think it was ever anyone can correct me here, but I'm not sure if Reanimator was Tutor ever legal at the same time as Misstep, or was it banned right before Misstep came out? I think it was right before Misstep came out. It was. Never mind.
Sounds right.
I remember because the Legacy GP. The Legacy GP that happened with Mental Misstep was won by Mental Misstep. It was specifically not won by Force of Will.
Yeah.
And there was no Tutor legal at that turn.
Okay.
Comboing not meaning a kill is a real thing. Personally, I find Reanimator loses to itself more often than other combo decks, just because of the propensity for drawing have more halves for the lower number of cantrips and the propensity of drawing like halves the wrong halves of your combo.
I mean, you're playing Careful Study and you're playing Hapless Researcher.
You're just playing worse cards. Like you're not playing
you're not playing Ponder. Ponder is an absurd card.
Ponder is so broken. Ponder is a ridiculous card. Oh my god.
I'm not saying Reanimator is bad.
No. It's a great deck.
Yeah.
It's a Grizzlebrand deck. Grizzlebrand decks are good.
I think I'm just saying in a vacuum.
I think in a vacuum, the deck that really gains the most in Legacy is Zoo. Like Zoo is really the most powerful deck. That
probably. Well, after Death and Taxes.
After Death, yeah.
Or just Mother Burns. Just Mother Burns.
Can Death and Taxes ever actually beat a Gore Clan Rampager? Yeah.
I also like our Gothian Enchantress.
Ooh, that's a good creature.
Yeah.
Xanath Swarm is my favorite.
It doesn't block very well, but neither one.
In any case,
Great 0-1.
looks like Bob has kept his 7. Kyle promptly shipping his, I think, 6 land opener. And happy with this 6 card hand. All right, we'll see how Bob gets to start things off. We have a Mox Diamond, discarding Riftstone Portal, the value.
Foil Riftstone Portal.
Woo! Here's another Mox Diamond you could also play. Bob does tend to play some of the prettier decks in the room.
Are we counting Miracles as a combo deck?
Miracles is not a combo deck. Don't even say it.
Is it a combo control deck?
I think without a doubt Miracles is the best deck in the format. I don't think there's much
Ooh.
to dispute there.
In a vacuum, Dredge being the best. That's interesting. It might be true, yeah.
Dredge is an extremely powerful deck
Yeah.
that is as good as sort of the hate against it.
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
guess
time.
because we were saying that, Reanimator is more susceptible to sideboard hate than Sneak and Show.
Mm-hmm.
Dredge pushes that even more to the max, right?
So Bob went second Mox Diamond, gamble. I have 2 cards. I discard this loam. You can go. I like starting this off. He has no lands in play.
Yeah, he's Loam. Who cares?
I wonder, and Kyle, by the way, has a turn 2 show and tell.
Well, then.
This is a weird start. All right, Ponder, starting things off.
David L. Byer, what would you recommend playing if you have trouble reading your own soul, much less your opponent's soul? Because that's what I should play.
Yes, definitely. The one that takes the least reading.
Yeah, not a good reader.
Nope. Awkward reader, Greg Schaefer. All right, Kyle is going to keep off this Ponder and pass back to Bob. Bob untaps Dredge's Loam, finds Crop Rotation, Mox Diamond, Thespian Stage.
Only 1 land.
So we can get... Well, he has the other one that he discarded between. I think it's a Wasteland.
Uh-huh. So there's Wasteland, Riftstone Portal, and Thespian Stage in the graveyard. Might not want to get back the portal if he wants it to...
He has the 3rd gamble in his hand.
Oh my god.
All right, so Stage...
Cast Loam, get back Stage, Waste... Alright, gets back all 3.
Yeah, I think he's just going to... I think you want to fire off this Wasteland here. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems great.
Which makes sense why Kyle kept this... kept that Scalding Tarn.
Totally.
Just passes back. Now he still has turn 2 show and tell. Dredge again. We find...
Ooh, Caracas.
Ooh. Very, very good here.
So gets back Wasteland, Caracas.
Bless you.
Oh, excuse me. Wasteland, Caracas, and there's a 3rd land in there. Is it a stage?
It is.
No,
A
Tranquil
Tranquil
Thicket.
Thicket.
Sorry about that.
Bob plays Caracas and passes back.
Makes
Kyle going to
sense.
fetch here. He knows the top card and knows he doesn't want it. From that Ponder earlier. I think he just gave a quick double check. Finds a basic island here.
Alright.
Specifically playing around the Wasteland that he knows is in Bob's hand.
Got confirmation that no soul is required for Death and Taxes, so I'm in the right place.
Fantastic. All right, so given that, unfortunately for Bob, Kyle does have the card that's good against Caracas here. He doesn't jam. Is that Grizzlebrand?
So yeah.
Oh, he's waiting. Never mind. He's waiting to put in Sneak Attack and attack, I think.
Yeah, I mean, with the Caracas in play, you can put in the Grizzlebrand and draw a bunch of cards, but I think you'd rather just be able to power through.
Yeah. All right, so Bob gonna draw for his turn and then cycle Tranquil Thicket. Notably not dredging Loam here. A little curious.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna gamble this turn. This is probably gonna go get a Port, right? Is it Port or I don't know what else you really want. Oh, he's gonna get. I actually have no idea what the land he
I'm
got
not
was.
sure either. I think that was Stage.
I think he already has a stage.
I
though.
thought he did.
Yeah, he's gonna go get Dark
Vanguard.
Depths. Yeah,
He
that's what I
was
thought.
checking his hand to see. He knew he had half the combo.
Yeah.
Going to get the other. This might be too slow though.
Without exploration, it really feels too slow.
I mean, the deck is certainly like in the combo matchups. Exploration is vital
yeah,
for keeping up.
exploration or stuff like Sphere of Resistance.
Right.
The
yeah.
problem with
Making the game go at your pace.
the reason Sneak and Show is still going to be able to fight through that is just that they have such a they only need to resolve one spell
Yeah.
to really kill you.
Yep.
It's so powerful. All right, Bob going to play Thespian Sage and just pass it back to Kyle.
Something else that I could see Bob having in his deck is like Pithing Needle, I think.
Pithing Needle sounds pretty strong. I mean, Kyle just drew one of the best cards in the format against lands. Jace.
Ooh, seems good.
Kyle going to go to 17 here. Do you think he's going to fetch another island or going to go for... Yeah, he's just going to go for another island. Just saying I don't need the red source right now because Jace is that good, which, gotta say, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Jace is so good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Better than all. Mind Sculptor himself. Goes down to 15 here.
That's what we see.
And this is a really big problem for Bob. He can make a 2020 next turn.
And it will get bounced.
Well, he doesn't make... You don't make it main phase. All right. Just
you
make
said
it
next turn.
Make a 2020. Go. Seems a little weak. All right. Jace's going to tick up on Kyle. Finds Omniscience. That's interesting. He does have Show and Tell. He does have Sneak Attack. So he can Show and Tell in the Omniscience next turn.
Pretty good.
It's not terrible.
No.
I feel like, yeah, I like...
Makes him not need red mana.
So we dredge. We find Dark Depths, Wasteland, and Mana Bond. Bob dredging back his Loam here. I think he's just going to play Dark Depths, though. Like... It's so tempting to Wasteland here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really tempting. It's like Kyle immediately going for that. Yeah, I like this Wasteland.
Oh, yeah. Me too. I mean, Hauptmann is going to get I mean, obviously Bob doesn't know about the Omniscience.
Mm-hmm. But I think Kyle tapped a spell.
He's going to get a Brainstorm, too, if he wants.
All right, Loam getting cast from Bob, targeting Wasteland, Grove? No, Tranquil Thicket.
Okay. So he's going to be able to cycle...
I just want Wasteland, okay.
Wasteland probably going to have less targets as the game proceeds here.
Yeah, finding Port will be really helpful. Found Basic Forest off the Tranquil Thicket.
I already played a land for turn, so not going to find it this time.
Yeah, now Kyle's
Brainstorm from Jace.
definitely going to brainstorm here, trying to
Needs
find
to
that
find
third
land.
And he
didn't find it.
He did find Preordain, which isn't bad. He gets to put back probably one of these redundant Grizzlebrands in his hand.
Yeah, and bottom two cards and hope that the next card's a land.
Yeah, that sounds
What
right.
if the next card's a soul land? Ugh.
Would be awkward.
That would be good.
For Bob.
Okay, yeah.
Omniscience is notably here in the sideboard for the card Caracas.
Yeah, it matches up extremely well.
It completely invalidates it.
It does.
All right, Preordain right here.
Preordain, I think...
Immediately shipping those two to the bottom.
Yeah,
Let's look at them.
Hauptmann's going to feign some consideration, but... Did not find land, but found Ponder.
More looks. This is exactly where you need Rishadan Port to pressure your money.
All right, found Basic Mountain, Misty Rain... I think it might be 3 lands. Basic Mountain, Misty Rainforest were among those cards.
Both seem excellent.
It's one of those spots where Sneak and Show is kind of good at grinding.
Yeah. Sneak and Show's not afraid, man. Hey, Cook, how's it going? All right, yeah. Kyle gonna keep this Ponder, draws Basic Mountain, plays it, and he's just gonna pass it back to Bob.
Yeah.
Bob gonna dredge.
Hauptmann looking like he's going to be able to have a very powerful next turn, involving Show and Tell, Omniscience, play Grizzlebrand, draw a bunch of cards, look for Emrakul, which I don't think he has yet.
No, he does
also
not.
has Wipe Away, so could cast that for free if he gets Omniscience in play.
Okay, I definitely confused the earlier Grizzlebrand for that Wipe Away.
Ah, well, he does have a Grizzlebrand now, at least.
Wipe Away notably just kills Merit Lage.
It does.
It takes Bob several turns to recreate that.
Yeah, especially without... oof, man. This is going to be a rough turn.
Yeah, this has all basically happened because Bob couldn't find Port.
Yeah.
Like, finding no ports means he just, like, wasn't able to pressure this mono basic draw from Kyle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, multiple Wastelands were cast this game. Hauptmann just powered through.
Activated. They were not cast.
Sorry. Used.
There we go.
Put into the graveyard from the battlefield via their activated ability.
There you go, buddy. The perfect descriptor.
Yeah. Very easily stated,
Right,
obviously.
Kyle thinking these through, I'd be shocked to see him do anything but Show and Tell in an Omniscience here. I don't know if Bob can. I don't even know what Bob can put in. He's just a bunch of lands in his hand, none of which are particularly exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it would be so great if he just put an Angel of Despair somehow snuck in there, or Ashen Rider.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, Bob trying to figure out like what is the best land for me to put into play. When am I supposed to act? Definitely doesn't want to activate this stage now.
Should we go for Tabernacle?
Oh boy, this loses the fight. Do you think Kyle's gonna pay 1?
Probably.
Odds say yes. All right, so Omniscience here. Let's see what Kyle wants to cast now.
I wonder if he's gonna wipe away the Tabernacle.
I would be very surprised.
All
He's gonna play Grizzlebrand.
Grizzlebrand, whatever.
Draw 7 cards.
So he's looking for an Emrakul in the top 14 cards.
Yep. What if Bob Punishing fired him? That would certainly blow my mind.
That would be pretty dope. Ooh, Blood Moon.
Oh, that seems good enough. That's rude. Blood Moon.
Yowza.
Great. And now Bob is put in the horrible spot of having to make a 2020 now, which will get bounced by Jace. Ugh.
I think he just passed.
I mean...
Wait, what? There was a hand swish. I don't know what that was.
I think he was just, like, asking him if he wanted to do anything in response.
Maybe, yeah.
You could bounce the Grizzlebrand, which will then just get recast immediately.
Yeah.
Man, Omniscience... We've seen Kyle do this before to get to Lands decks, to Karakas decks in particular, and it's pretty powerful.
It's great.
David, we can go over that during the break. I'll gladly describe that. All right, so in response to the Blood Moon, Bob is going to activate Karakas, targeting Grizzlebrand. Kyle's just going to draw 7 more cards. Go down to 1. No fear of the gut shot.
Or, I mean, of
Any...
Punishing Fire.
Yeah.
Is there a spaghetti monster in here?
Didn't see one offhand, but he's got a lot more looks. He can cast every single cantrip for free.
Indeed. So, yeah. So, Karakas bounced Grizzlebrand in response to the Blood Moon.
This would be pretty awesome if Bob had the Punishing Fire. He knows he doesn't have a Punishing Fire. Well, actually, no. Bob has taken, like, I think 2 random draws.
Yeah, most of his draw steps have been replaced with Loam.
Almost all of his draw steps.
Replaced with Dredging.
Yes.
Rather.
Yeah, and the Mirror Age comes into play. Kyle doesn't even put the token out. Kyle just immediately bounces it with Jace. And there's the Emrakul. Extra turn. Can I go have an extra turn? Are we having fun yet?
Well, yeah. Yeah. Bob very graciously offering the hand.
Would you not have?
We don't see everyone offer the hand here. I mean, this is more casual.
That's not true at all. I'd say,
know.
if anything, we always see the hand offered.
I suppose.
Anyways, Sneak and Show from Kyle Hauptman taking down Lands in 2 games there. Lands just... I mean, really, it was just Bob didn't really get his thing going. He had 2 hands in a row that were sort of flooded on spells.
Yeah.
That first hand was triple Crop Rotation, and the second hand was triple Gamble.
And 2 Mox Diamonds. I don't know. It was kind of clunky.
Well, the 2 Mox Diamonds were fine because he had Loam.
Yeah.
It was really just the Gambles that just mucked up the works.
Yeah. Didn't find a Rishon Import, which is usually the best land to disrupt Sneak and Show with. Better than Wasteland, I think.
Yeah, like just you really want Port against these decks that have a lot of basics. Like you want it in conjunction with Wasteland. Really, I mean, like, him not having an exploration, like you need a powerful draw to keep up with what Sneak and Show is doing.
Yeah.
He didn't have a lock piece. Like he could have gambled turn 1, just gone for Sphere Resistance.
Yeah.
It's like fine, but or exploration. That's the thing. I think people too often. I'm not certain, but it seems like a lot of time people are very apprehensive to go for non-loam spells with their gambles.
Yeah.
But like,
some matchups warrant it.
They don't call it gamble on accident. It's not. It's a very, very, very well named card.
Okay.
No gamble, no future, Greg. Snap off, go for the spell every time. No fear. But I mean, yeah, there's like a very, very possible. It's very, very possible a lot of the time that you just want to go for something like Sphere of Resistance, something like Crow's and Grip. I've seen Crow's and Grip, I think the most common non-loam target I've seen.
Yeah, in a lot of matchups, it's super, super relevant.
Yeah.
You have to blow up Rest in Peace.
Yep, and Needle.
Yeah.
The two, I think Needle is one of the biggest reasons why you end up blind boarding in Crow's and Grip a lot of times, even though you don't know if they have Needle in their deck. Mm-hmm. But that's how it is. Should I go take a look and see if we have another match going?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I'm going to think about my 3 favorite cards.
You should.
Mother of Runes. Maybe Mother of Runes. I don't know if I'm going to... don't know if I'm gonna pick one from Death and Taxes. Like physical card, the Junior Super Series promo Lord of Atlantis stands out in my mind as one of my favorites. I think that card just looks like super cool. What else? I don't know. I have to think about that. The rare in the first pack I ever opened was Phyrexian Dreadnought. So that one also kind of stands out in my mind. I've never actually like played that card competitively though, so I don't know if that really makes sense. I'll think about it and get back to you guys. We'll see what Phil likes the most. I'm guessing like Dark Ritual for Phil is maybe one of his 3. I think if I was a Storm player, I think Dark Ritual would probably be the card that I liked the most. Let's see. All right, Captain QC likes Rootwalla. This is a good discussion. I'm a fan of this. Someone was asking about what we thought about Mono Blue Omnitel. I have never played that deck myself. My guess at this point in time with Dig Through Time banned is that it might just be a worse Sneak and Show. I'm sure it has some strengths that Sneak and Show, like it has some ways in which it's better than Sneak and Show, like decks it's stronger against, but just being a 3-card combo deck as opposed to a 2 just fundamentally seems a lot harder to stomach. Again, do not take my opinion as gospel on that front, though. When it comes to Legacy, I'm more of a fair deck aficionado, and that is where my expertise lies personally. Yeah, David Byer likes Therapy. That's a great one.
Zoo.
What are your favorite 3 cards, Phil?
I know one for sure.
All right, we'll come back to it. Why don't we watch Zoo?
We're definitely gonna watch Zoo.
Is it right now? Or do we have a minute?
We have like 1 minute or something like that. Let me think for 1 second.
I said Lord of Atlantis.
Wow, that wouldn't even come. That's like bottom 5. Lord of Atlantis.
5.
Are you kidding me? Lord of Atlantis?
I really like that JSS one. The card's sweet looking.
I'm trying to think if there's a non-blue card in my top 3.
I thought there was. I picked one for you.
Was it Snapcaster Mage?
No.
Was it Gifts Ungiven?
No. Non-blue.
Cabal Therapy.
Oh, I said Dark Ritual.
I like Cabal Therapy way more than
All
that.
right. Well, so does David Byer, so respect.
Cabal Therapy is just an outstanding card. I think it's probably
Very
those
cool.
3: Therapy, Snapcaster, and Gifts.
Okay.
I love Gifts Ungiven.
Okay.
I truly love the card Gifts Ungiven. That is just like
fair.
There's
so
a
much.
repair. It's me and Hauptman now. Do you still want to see that?
No.
Okay.
I'll come out.
Yeah.
Why is there a repair?
What cards do I like? There are too many creatures to pick from. I like Tragic Slip a lot. I don't think that's really like my pick though. Gifts Ungiven, Brainstorm, Batterskull. Yeah.
Repair. So we're gonna still watch Wayne when he's playing against Brandon.
Okay. More questions all the time would be great. Are they both 1-1?
No. Wayne's 2-0.
Okay. So
Brandon
paired down.
Yep. I think someone might have dropped.
Yeah, that makes
so they got to
sense.
repair. So Simon is playing Kyle, and they're both 2-0. So.
Okay.
Oh, Green Sensitive is another card that is very, very high on my list. Stone Rain's a nice one. Sulfuric Vortex is one of my favorite red cards. I think Bolt is easily my favorite red card.
Sure.
It's just so elegant. But just like the original one, and then when it came back, it was like, so when Bolt got reprinted, it was like right when I got back into Magic,
Yeah.
and that was like, I don't know, that got me really excited.
That's fair. I'm a pretty big fan of Hellrider.
I am not. I would say like my least favorite cards are probably Boros Charm. Let's see. I don't love Ensnaring, but Goblin Guide's up there.
Okay.
I hate burn. Cranial Plating. I hate Cranial Plating.
Favorite Planeswalker, like one card.
Favorite Planeswalker?
Yeah.
Uh,
Cannot say the Origins baby ones.
no, I wouldn't. It's probably a Ajani Vengeant.
Okay.
Ajani Vengeant or Karn.
Okay.
Man, Karn is sweet. Karn was so much sweeter before people broke it. Yeah, I also hate Chalice. I absolutely despise the card Chalice of the Void. Loses that card all the time. All right. Both players looking at their openers right here. Ooh, I got to reset a bunch of things.
Alright, so we have Wayne Tam here playing a Bant Stoneblade Semi-Brew.
Call it like, what do you want to call it? Bant Maverick, Bant Stoneblade.
I don't know.
We got choices.
Bant stuff.
Bant stuff. All right. I'm going to reset a few things here.
What cards do I like? I don't even know, Phil.
You don't even know?
Oh, I like Nantuko Husk.
Nantuko
I really like Nantuko Husk. I liked it when it was originally printed too. If that
Nantuko Husk
helps
is a
at
sweet
all.
card. All right. Wayne on the left, starting things off with a Deathrite Shaman off of a tropical island to follow Brandon's turn 1 Ponder. We have a Stoneforge Mystic showing up for Brandon on turn 2. Sorry, I don't have the names right just yet. Get this set. Jeskai Stoneblade and Bant Maverick. Bant Maverick fair? Is that or Bant Stoneblade? Your call.
We can change it as we go.
Too late. It's Stoneblade now.
Okay.
It's already Stoneblade. We're already into it.
If I had to pick a favorite card from Death and Taxes, it probably would be Mother of Runes. Not Thalia. Sorry, Thalia.
I think my favorite card in Death and Taxes is Basic Plains.
Yeah. I thought you hate Basic Planes.
No, Basic Plains is fine.
Alright, you're more of
I played a lot of Esper and Jeskai in my life.
You're also a pretty big fan of, what, Sarah Ascendant?
I do like Sarah Ascendant. I love Tarpans. As many Tarpans as you can fit
Yeah.
in a deck. Good old Stoneforge Mystic here. This is a real bro. Oh, I'm a pretty big fan of the card Pyromancer Ascension.
That's fair.
I really, really like that card.
For people asking why Flicker Wisp isn't my favorite, I'm not cool enough.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Tarpans.
Tarpan.
Tarpan. Someone there was a vintage player in Boston when I was
Uh-huh.
living there who would just only describe creatures as various Tarpans.
Okay.
So, like, it became a running joke that anytime I play Soul Sisters, it was just mono white Tarpans. Pretty powerful deck, mono white Tarpans.
Yeah, it seems fine. So Wayne, definitely with a mana advantage here, but
Pretty awkward draw.
yeah.
Fetching here down to 19. He Zenith for Noble Hierarch on turn 2. Picking up a Tundra off this. But looks like he has some lands. He's another Green Sun Zenith.
All right, so maybe that was why he was more inclined to fire the first one off.
Interested to know if he goes for... Yeah, he is just going to go for
Just
Knight.
go right for Knight always.
Go for the biggest card. It's great.
I mean, Knight's the best creature in this deck, aside from Deathrite Shaman, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, Dan is a great card. It has some of my favorite art in Magic. Drew Tucker. All right. Wayne going to pass the turn back after the Zenith. See what Brandon has to do. If he has the swords, and it looks like he does, he's going to take out that Knight and then put in this Jitte. Notably doing this in the right order to play around Daze. So this
Indeed.
gains 3 life for Wayne. Going up to 22.
Yep.
Let's see if Brandon puts in this Jitte. I have to imagine that's going to happen here.
Seems pretty free.
Let's see. On end step, looks like Wayne's going to go eat my land and swords your Stoneforge.
Not wanting to wait around here. And we see that actually might work out very well for Wayne, not waiting for the equip, because Brandon's sitting on a copy of counter spell in his hand.
Actual factual counterspell.
Yeah, like if Brandon had land equip, things could have gone very poorly for Wayne there.
Yep. Brandon does have a follow-up Stoneforge Mystic, though. Probably going to go fetch up the Batterskull in his deck now.
Makes sense.
Yeah, having the Stoneforge Mystic advantage certainly seems very it seems like a critical point of this matchup.
Yeah, in most mid-rangey Stoneforge.
Yeah. I don't know how many copies of True Name Nemesis are in Wayne's deck. I have to imagine not that many.
Yeah, how many 3s can you really have?
Yeah, with all the Night of the Reliquaries and
Yeah.
also just not working well with Green Sun Zenith.
Right.
Seems like he's more of a Maverick deck than a Stoneblade deck, but
I agree.
he does have Vendilion Click, I know, available. That sort of pushes me in the other direction when I think about it. Ooh, and just right there, speak of the devil, there is a Stoneforge Mystic, but Brandon does have a Force of Will. Let's see if this gets forced. Brandon definitely thinking about it. Yeah, and he is going to Force of Will, pitching that counterspell. This drops Brandon down to 20.
Yeah, in that spot, probably just best to counter the Stoneforge, not try to fight over Jitte once it's in hand or on the stack.
Yep. Wayne thought about playing his Dryad Arbor and just decided against it and passed it back to Brandon. Now Brandon gets to equip and attack here, which is pretty horrible news for Wayne.
Indeed.
But he's just going to pass back. Looks like he wants to put in Batterskull instead.
Huh. Gives Wayne another look at a... Yeah.
There's a big creature. This is just a 2/2.
Yeah.
I'll point that out.
Deathrite, Wayne having to eat his own lands with his Deathrite has definitely shrunk this night.
All right, so Brandon going to respond with a Brainstorm. Is that a main deck Blood Moon?
Wow.
Jeez. That's hateful. Pretty good here, kind of. I guess Wayne having 2 mana creatures effectively in play already is pretty critical.
Brandon not having, a red source, though.
Also critical.
Not quite the combo.
Yep.
With,
All right, so looks like there's a Swords to Plowshares on Wayne's end step. It's going to put him up to 24.
Yep.
And Brandon's just going to untap. Just waiting on this Batterskull. Plays a 4th land. I think he's just going to pass back to Wayne here. He's just got Batterskull and Snapcaster Mage in his hand. Looks like he's primed to take control of this game unless Wayne draws something powerful. Wayne only with Daze in his hand. Daze looking... Just basically Wayne drawing at the worst possible time. Ooh, he has Sword of Feast and Famine?
Okay.
That's a pretty excellent draw. Wonder what it's going to go on. Probably the Dryad Arbor, right?
Wayne is definitely considering.
I mean, that way you get the Exalted so it can attack through Stoneforge Mystic. And, you probably, if there's going to be a removal spell, you probably want to keep your Deathrite around.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Looks like he's gonna...
I don't know. Is there a land in Brandon's graveyard? There isn't, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is going to go on Dryad Arbor. This is interesting.
Nope. Gonna put it on Deathrite.
Just go on Deathrite. I mean, they both importantly have 2 power. All right, so here's an attack. Brandon could snap Swords here, though. He can snap Swords and then untap and then Jitte and kill both of Brandon's creatures. This is the downside of putting it on this.
Yeah.
So because he put it on his 2 toughness creature.
Yeah. That
this
definitely seems like it's gonna get punished.
Yeah. Yeah, Brandon just having effectively 3 copies of Swords to Plowshares this game because of the Snapcaster is just so punishing. All of his creatures just getting removed. All right, so Brandon going to target Swords to Plowshares. Swords to Plowshares, the Deathrite Shaman. Wayne going to gain 2 life. I don't know if this is in response to the Exalted trigger.
I don't know either.
I also don't know how much it's going to matter.
I don't know either.
Yep. Going up to 26. This is just in combat. I'm not sure if this could be 25. It's a little awkward for us. We're not certain. I could go out and check.
Based on the hand motion, I think it looked like 25.
Okay. Brandon drawing that Blood Moon that he left on top of his deck. Not super relevant. He's just going to put Jitte on one of his creatures here. Puts it on Snapcaster Mage. Bashes for 2. Wayne just trades. It's not going to get better for that Dryad Arbor. 2 counters going on Jitte. And that Noble Hierarch is not long for this world.
No.
No hurry for Brandon. I mean, Wayne has infinite mana. You don't really need to kill it right away, which I think is fair.
Draws Wasteland. That seems too late.
Yeah.
You can get rid of Tundra, but
Batterskull coming into play. And wait, Wayne just gonna scoop him up? Yeah, he's done here. He has seen enough, and we're gonna go to game 2 here. Brandon taking down game 1 here with a flurry of Swords to Plowshares and Stoneforge Mystics.
yeah, those seem like probably the best cards in the matchup.
Yeah, that's certainly what it seems like. I mean, just having Days at the wrong time really hurt Wayne.
Yeah, I mean, Days is one of those cards that is a 1 or a 10.
Yeah.
A little more polarizing how good it looks at different
Absolutely.
times. I think Days also a lot more commonly fantastic in more aggressive Delver decks than this more mid-rangey Bant Stoneblade deck.
Although the Stoneblade deck does, I mean, like, this is a Knight of the Reliquary deck. I'm pretty sure he still has 4 copies of Wasteland in there.
Sure.
Like, it tries to leverage, this is a deck that I think almost always keeps hands that go turn 1 Accelerant. Although it does look like he has Thalia in his sideboard, which is pretty nice.
Just needs ways to fight combo decks, I would think.
Yeah.
I guess it's okay in this matchup.
Seems pretty good. I mean, Brandon's deck's all cantrips.
Yeah.
Cantrips and 1 mana removal.
Yeah, a lot of spells.
Yeah, it looks like he's boarding out some of his spells for Thalia's, and he has got 1 Snapcaster Mage and 1 Sylvan Library. I don't know if he's bringing all of them in, but they all seem pretty interesting. I honestly don't know how many Force of Wills are in Wayne's deck. He probably has 4 main, and then tends to sideboard out some number of them. Like, Force of Will's not fantastic here. It's okay.
Yeah.
He has fewer forms of raw card advantage than Brandon, given Brandon's Snapcaster Mages.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon also has just, like, the Haymaker winner in this matchup with True Name Nemesis.
I agree. Yeah, overall, I think I would prefer to be on Brandon's side. He has more spot removal with lightning bolts.
Yeah, he has more spot removal, and he's like, oddly, he has like the biggest must answer card in the matchup.
Yeah, he has like more. He has a lot of trumps, like because even like Supreme Verdict can be good. Like,
Oh yeah,
he can win different like textures of games in ways that like make more sense. Like obviously Wayne can win the matchup. He can like there are paths to victory. It's not like a 90-10 matchup or anything like that. But
yeah. I did see Wayne, by the way, when shuffling his deck, he did have his own True Name Nemesis.
sure.
Ooh, and a Sword of Fire and Ice to put in his side post board. Sword of Fire and Ice is a big game.
Oh, it's the best card against True Name Nemesis.
Yeah.
Other than like Council's Judgment.
Yeah, just straight killing it.
Yeah.
It's the best card that doesn't kill it, I would say.
Yeah.
Lets you
Swing right past.
Yeah, Wayne needs to be the aggressor in this matchup, I think.
I think so.
As we said, Brandon is the deck that has more spot removal, more card advantage. You don't really want to give him too much time to get established. It is pretty critical. It's Brandon's deck having a lot of basic lands in it is pretty frustrating from Wayne's perspective, given that one of his big ways of disruption is going Accelerant into Wasteland you.
Yeah.
And that's like not a great plan here.
Yeah.
But Brandon also has a lot of variable mana costs in his deck. We saw it come up where he almost couldn't put a spell into play because he might needed to fetch and stuff like that. It depends.
Wayne, a very fast pile shuffler. That was impressive.
Yeah. Oh, tomorrow. Wait, are you guys asking about tomorrow's pre-release?
Yeah, I believe it's
20. It's 25
Yeah.
if you book in advance. If you I think it's 25 if you pre-register.
Yeah.
And 30 at the door.
Or if you do all 4, it's $80.
Yes, if
So
that's
$20.
If that's still
each time.
available. Greg will be at all 4.
I will be. I really need to get my hands on these new cards and as much play experience just to figure out what commons are good, what rares are good.
Yep. All right. So it looks like players have off to the races, and we've started game 2 here. Wayne going Savannah into Deathrite Shaman. This really feels more like a Maverick deck to me. But
That's fair, yeah.
ooh, there is a Stoneforge Mystic. Let's see. Wayne deciding what land he wants to get here. I wonder if Brandon has the stupid the one-up spell snare. I don't think he does this time. Wayne deciding what equipment he wants to get. I mean, he's got the Sword of Fire and Ice at the front here. He could get Jitte, but he's just going to go for Batterskull. Ooh, man. Post-board, I wonder how many equipment he actually has. It's as many as 4.
Wow.
With because we saw the Sword of Feast and Famine, and he has Jitte, Sophie, and Batterskull.
Yeah, there's a lot.
The one problem with this is the worst one to get against spot removal, which Brandon fetching a plains end step makes it seem like he's got the Swords to Plowshares here.
Yeah, Batterskull the least castable minus Stoneforge.
Yeah, Westvale Abbey is. We could talk more about Westvale Abbey later, but that is a
Card sweet.
really, really good card. All right, Swords to Plowshares going after Stoneforge Mystic here. Wayne going to go back up to 20 from that life gain.
Before our cast, Phil gave me a severe stomping with Esper Dragons. I was playing White Weenie.
Yep. Turns out the all creature deck was not great against the Wrath and top end deck, the Wrath Planeswalkers deck.
The Languish deck.
Languish is a good one.
It is.
Just think of how bad it was if I had like Planar Outburst in my deck.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It just brings me joy thinking of it.
It really hurt a lot.
All right, Brandon just playing Volcanic Island and passing the turn back to Wayne. Wayne draws his card and he's going to pass back to Brandon. So there's an end step Bolt on Deathrite Shaman. I think we're going to see a response of Vendilion Click here.
He Grand Fly. Shut your fly hole. I don't know.
Keep trying. They'll get there eventually.
No, I won't.
All right, Vendilion Click coming down. Looks like it's targeting Brandon.
Your craw hole.
Brandon, there, that's a better one. Swords to Plowshares going after it in response. We see Brandon's hand, which is... No, that's Nahiri. You thought it was Elspeth, but it's Nahiri.
I did think it was Elspeth.
Nahiri the Lithomancer? Is that right? I honestly don't remember what the full name is.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's Nahiri Planeswalker, Jace the Mind Sculptor, Snapcaster Mage, Spell Pierce. I don't know what, if anything, what if any of these cards Wayne takes. Both players are stuck on 2 lands here.
I think I like leaving him with this.
Could take Snapcaster.
Eh.
I think the 2 possible choices are Snapcaster and Jace.
Yeah.
Ooh, he does have his own Jace, so he's gonna go for the
Spell Pierce.
He has his own Jace.
Okay.
He just wants to make sure it can get through unprotected, or get through
Gotta cast
undisrupted. He wants to be the first person to Jace, which might be difficult. Brandon has 2 draws at a land. All right, this was all on Wayne's end step for the record.
Ooh.
But Brandon did find an island.
Oof.
Wayne really needs to draw lands.
Yeah, and now Brandon has access to Snapcaster and either removal spell.
Yeah, so this is pretty awkward for Wayne. I think no matter what he gets here, it's going to get Snap killed. Whatever, like... and Brandon has the land, so he's going to be the first person to land Jace. Yeah, I think Brandon's going to run away with this game on the back of this Jace.
Certainly seems that way.
Let's pull up Nahiri, because I have actual no clue what the card does.
Yeah.
It's not often that I have no clue what... It was the Lithomancer. +2, put a 1/1 white core soldier creature token on the battlefield. You may attach an equipment you control to it. -2 is the same as Stoneforge's activated ability. And then -10 is do some crazy business where it makes an equipment. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think the card is not really good enough, but Brandon probably just, trying it out.
Ooh, Brandon not going to go for the end step Snapcaster and just draw Stoneforge Mystic and plays it. He goes for Sword of Feast of Famine on his end. Interesting.
I think I would have gone for Jitte.
I'm mostly surprised he didn't go after
The mana.
Like the end step Snapcaster to kill this Hierarch, knowing that Wayne was low on mana.
Yeah.
Him taking the Spell Pierce is just so curious.
It is.
And now
Wayne
it's just gonna
finds
jam Jace.
the land. It can play Jace and bounce the Stoneforge.
Then it just gets killed by Ambush Viper.
Okay. Yeah, I guess he knows about the Snapcaster.
I think if anything, you Jace plus.
Sure.
If you're gonna play Jace, he could play Night of the Reliquary here, but that's not very good against the Jace. He could Swords to Plowshares the Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, Garok asks, doesn't Jitte just ruin this matchup? That's kind of my inclination.
Jitte seems very hard to beat.
I mean, killing Stoneforge, killing whatever was going to pick up a Jitte on Wayne's side seems pretty valuable.
Like, Batterskull is pretty good in the late game, but the Planeswalkers are so good against Batterskull, especially in a Jace mirror.
Yeah.
I don't know, you need other guys, especially like with all the spot removal. It's very weird.
So Wayne doesn't play Jace, but does play Night of the Reliquary, which is 3/3 currently.
Brandon drawing Counterspell for the turn. So his hand is Counterspell, Snapcaster Mage, Sword of Feast and Famine, Nahiri the Lithomancer, and Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Brandon pulls Pulls Jace to the front of his hand. Doesn't have the mana to play sword, equip, and untap.
No, not quite.
Yeah, and would need one more land to be able to do that.
Yeah, that would have been pretty devastating for Wayne.
Yeah.
This is still pretty nuts. All right, so Jace going to come down, bounce the Knight of the Reliquary. Swords to Plowshare's going to take down the Knight, bringing Brandon up to 20. So
Some very interesting sequencing these past few turns.
They drew the best possible card.
No hierarchy
Yeah,
can kill Jace.
Now that is
Wow.
absolutely massive.
Man, there's been some sequencing in these past few turns which is very...
Swingy.
Yeah.
Big swings.
There were a lot of decisions on how to sequence... Like, with both players short on mana, there were a lot of ways that... Man, I didn't think that Wayne was going to be able to get so far ahead on this board.
That Noble Hierarch was pretty clutch there. I mean, I guess he had the Green Sun Zenith, but it looks like he's going to hold it. Doesn't want to go for another 1-drop here and pass back to Brandon. I feel like Noble Hierarch is the favorable elf in this deck.
Yeah. You mean better than Deathrite?
I think so.
Deathrite's at odds with Knight.
I think he only has one Deathrite Ooze. So Brandon pondering here, he finds Force of Will, Snapcaster Mage, and Wear Tear. Wear Tear, pretty interesting because he knows that Wayne has the Batter Skull, but Force is not super interesting here. I think he's looking for something a little more proactive. Really, just another Stoneforge Mystic would be ideal. Something to put that sort of Feast and Famine on. This is the downside. This is the big downside of sort of Feast and Famine here. Is like you just, unlike Batter Skull, it just does nothing right now. It does nothing on its own.
Yeah.
And Brandon just going to pass back, holding up Counterspell. Wayne did find Brainstorm. Finds Thalia.
Brandon declines to
Scab.
counter the Brainstorm there.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, needs to counter the threats spell this turn, I guess.
I might Counterspell this Thalia.
If that's the thing that gets cast.
I think Thalia's going to come down here. He has
Okay.
2. Yep, Counterspell.
Okay.
And we get an attack for 2 with one of these Hierarchs.
No, just
Yep.
going to play Scavenging Ooze.
I like that. I like getting Ooze, especially because he knows there's a Snapcaster Mage. Now the onus is on Brandon to kill this immediately, or else the Scavenging Ooze is going to invalidate Snapcaster Mage for the rest of the game. He also has a Council's Judgment in his hand, but unfortunately does not have double white at the moment. This is what I was talking about the awkward mana costs. Brandon is playing a lot of basics in his deck, so he has to. It's sort of at odds with all the the white and the blue mana costs in his deck,
Yeah.
and the Blood Moon.
Uh-huh.
All right, so Brandon gonna go Snapcaster on Swords to Plowshares, take down this Scavenging Ooze. This is a small thing, but I think it would have been a little bit better to go for the Bolt there. I could be wrong there. Like the Bolt could be good against, I guess, a Jace later. But my thoughts were that
Being able to kill a big Knight of the Reliquary seems...
yeah, it might be important later in the game. All right, Brandon gonna Brainstorm here in response to this Thalia. He did find that Blood Moon, and he found a fetch land to get a second Plains, if that's an option.
Yeah.
Seems pretty good, except for the fact that Wayne just has these 2 Noble Hierarchs.
Yeah, might invalidate the Blood Moon. And Brandon having to take time off to basically a whole turn to play Blood Moon on a future turn. Like, he might just get too far behind on the board in terms of creatures.
Yep. So that Thalia getting in there, and then Knight of the Reliquary coming down. All right, Brandon has that fetch land. Let's see what he decides to do this turn. He could play Nahiri this turn, making a 1/1, but that's not particularly exciting. Looks like he's going to go for a True Name Nemesis. That is a beating.
Always scary.
That is a very, very real problem for Wayne right now.
Sword and Fire Knights would be very good right now.
Also, I was mistaken. He couldn't play Nahiri because of the Thalia.
Ah, yes.
Wayne drawing for the turn.
Chose Batter Skull, wrong equipment.
Well, he brainstormed it back.
Ah.
So you knew that Batter Skull was coming in there, and he actually can't even cast it right now.
Yeah.
Oop, that costs 1 extra mana.
Yeah,
Let me know if they notice it.
because of Thalia.
Do they notice it?
No. Go. Phil running out to remind Wayne to pay the Thalia tax. Thank you, Phil. Like a lot, yeah. We are still waiting for an Eldrazi deck to show up on camera as well. I promise you, we've been itching to put one on camera.
What, Eldrazi?
Yeah.
I knew it.
I was asked about it.
So, Wayne plussed on who?
Plus,
Did he plus on Brandon or himself?
I believe it was Brandon. I was looking at chat, though.
You had one job to do, Greg.
I did.
All right, Jace.
I don't know. I guess you have to plus on yourself because you're digging for an answer, a true name.
Yeah. Brandon gonna fetch here. Go down to 19. We're in for like a pretty long game here.
Maybe. True name kind of just trumps what Wayne's doing.
Yeah, but Wayne's got a lot of things going on, and if Brandon wants to attack, that lets Knight of the Reliquary start attacking. He also gets to start making a Giant Knight. Nope, that costs 4 mana. And yeah, I think Brandon was only going to do that because he would have been able to untap his lands, but now that since that costs 4, he doesn't want to go for it with it. Do you think he's going to Council's Judgment this Jace?
Maybe. Takes his whole turn, pretty much.
He doesn't have a spell that doesn't take his whole turn in his hand. Every single spell takes his whole turn. Unless he finds something off of the Ponder. That's the only thing that would not take his whole turn.
Right.
Council's Judgment has, like, 2 good targets here, but I think you have to go for the Jace.
I agree.
Alright, Council's Judgment.
Wow.
Goes for the Thalia.
Respect.
This works out, I think, pretty well for Wayne.
It lets Brandon play 2 spells, but...
Well, what's the problem here? He paid 4. This is good.
Pays... so...
Oh, he wants to respond. He's responding to the Council's Judgment. No, but it doesn't... I think he wants to go get Caracas. But
Seems
this
late.
But this doesn't work. Because...
Yeah, he already voted.
Whoa, this is...
Yeah, you can't
This is all messed
respond to
up.
the voting. Oh my god. Yeah, I think we gotta slow these guys down here. So, Council's Judgment does not work that way with targeting. Wayne cannot respond after he knows what Brandon is voting for. Interesting. I wonder if we're gonna ask the players to back up. Council Judgment, definitely a weird card. Huh. I wonder if they must be talking about the way that the voting works. Alright, so I think... So the Thalia is now in Wayne's hand. When Phil comes back, he will be able to give us an explanation of what exactly is happening here. Alright. So Wayne responds to Council's Judgment by knighting for Caracas, bouncing Thalia. Then Council's Judgment starts resolving. Brandon votes for Jace. Thalia is no longer in play. Very...
I fixed it.
Yeah.
I fixed it. Thank you.
Yeah, there was some misunderstanding there, I think, on our players' parts of how Council's Judgment works.
Yeah, no, Wayne definitely... Wayne does not... does not play Infinite Legacy, or at least plays Legacy sparingly.
Yeah.
And he definitely thought I mean, Council Judgment is still, in the context of Legacy, is a relatively new card.
It is. I thought Brandon would know how it works, though, because it's in his deck.
Yeah. I actually think Brandon admitted to not knowing either. Either way, we move on. Jace dies, and now we have the Thalia still in play, as well as a Sylvan Library. Both Caracases now. That's a pretty good answer. Still think we're just going to see sort of Feast and Famine come down here.
Seems good.
He could just bounce the Thalia first.
He could. Yeah, and it costs less. It costs
Cost
4.
3. Cost 4. Cost 4.
Costs 4.
There we go. Alright. This is going to get equipped onto True Name Nemesis. And now this works out really well because he can move it back over.
But now... Yeah. Yeah. Can't be blocked by any creatures. So, Sword is going to untap all of Brandon's lands.
Yeah, there's given that True Name has protection, and so Wayne gonna discard the Batterskull here, go down to 20. Brandon's lands get untapped, so he has the option here. It's either move over Sword, or hold up Force of Will. I guess he could also play Blood Moon, but I'm not sure what he wants to do. So Wayne just gonna untap, use Library, found his own True Name. Swords to Plowshare is not the best here. I think he's just going to draw the True Name. Oh, he's going to take 4. I guess he does have a lot of life total to work with here.
He does.
All right, Wayne going to sacrifice Tropical Island, floating a blue, I imagine. Oh, he does have the black source in his deck. I was curious about that for Deathrite Shaman. Finds Gaia's Cradle. I love when Knight of the Reliquary decks play the 1 Cradle.
Seems pretty great right here.
Always gives you that nice explosion of mana.
It's Tolarian Academy.
Yeah. It's pretty great. And this knight is pretty huge. All right, so Gaia's Cradle tapping for 4 mana now.
So 5 floating.
One of which is blue. So Zenith for... Ooh, is he going to... So he's going to Zenith for how many? He needs to Zenith for 2 and pay 1 extra? Actually, no, you just announce it, right? You announce it for 1... How does it work with? Does it work with Thalia in the same way, like engineered?
I don't believe it works that way.
You don't think so? Either way, hardcast Force of Will is going to take it down.
Why did the Thalia go to hand? Oh,
he Crocus it.
In response to the Green Sun Zenith.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's the same
Sure.
it's the same as 6 mana Force, but Wayne has 1 less creature in play.
Yeah, I think Wayne might have a mana floating. Maybe not.
True Name Nemesis.
Doesn't look like he did. Wait.
He did have
He
I think,
did.
1 mana floating, and then he Swords to Plowshares, Snapcaster Mage, putting Brandon to 21, and then passes the turn. But now it's just it's Brandon's True Name with an equipment versus Wayne's without an equipment. So it's up to Wayne to use this Sylvan Library to find himself like a sort of Fire Nest or something like that. Although Brandon can't really attack anymore.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Does he have 2 Blood Moons in his hand?
Is he just behind the race?
He has.
I think he has Lightning
Bolt.
Bolt,
That's
Blood
Bolt.
Moon.
Yeah. Bolt, which, I mean, Bolt does kill a colored mana source if he wants to Blood Moon. He could Blood Moon and Bolt.
He could
This puts Wayne down to 11
cast Blood Moon, turn his Caracas into a mountain,
and Bolt.
and bolt
A Noble Hierarch.
Hierarch, yeah.
It's not the worst thing in the world. It means that Wayne can't cast Kasali Pride Mage anymore. He can still cast Green Sun Zenith, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, so Blood Moon's in there.
And just passes, so it doesn't bolt.
It is, by the way, worth a point. Like, it's worth a turn.
Ooh. Wayne finds his
Wayne
own
found his own
sword.
sword. I think that
Wayne
turns
very
the race.
nonchalant.
I think that turns the race in his favor.
5 mana.
Sword.
I guess this is resolving.
Put it on my Sword of Feast and Famine. Attack. How big is this knight? 2. 1, 2. Is it 2? Is it a 4/4?
I didn't. It went very quick.
I think it was just 2 tropical islands in his graveyard.
Okay.
So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah. Bolt.
Puts you to
U. This is Bolt U.
Yep.
We're racing.
Puts Wayne down to 8.
Bolt off the top wins.
Yeah. Which is pretty nuts.
Also Snapcaster.
You drew Force of Will, though. Which is not a bad draw.
It's not.
I mean, that's actually probably the best possible draw.
No.
Besides
Lightning
winning the
Bolt.
game. Yeah. But like now Wayne, I don't think Wayne has an out anymore. Finds Wasteland, True Name Nemesis. Is that Jite?
I think it was Brainstorm.
Brainstorm doesn't really do much here. It's just reach through mists, right? You force him with the Brainstorm.
Mm-hmm. If that's the only card, there's no reason to not.
I mean, Wayne can't pay life.
Yeah.
I think Wayne is just dead though,
Yeah.
because he couldn't get this knight big enough.
Could not.
Unfortunate for Wayne. I think if his knight was a little bit bigger, he'd be able to race here. But it's only 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He needed it to be 3 bigger.
Yeah, it was very good awareness by Brandon that he could have burned the bolt on like Noble Hierarch, but being ahead on the life total here was very, very relevant.
It bought him an extra turn.
It took a turn off the clock.
Which was super critical.
Yeah.
All right, so
Wayne would be at 6,
I will
which is
okay.
2 hits.
Okay, the Force of Will is not game over because of the Sword of Feast and Famine. That'll take care of it. So
Okay.
4. So if he finds what? Zenith.
Zenith for Pride Maze.
Zenith does it. If his third card, yeah, it does. Blue.
Yeah,
green,
he has just enough.
He has exactly enough mana to do it. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This will put
Yeah.
Brandon to 3.
He knows 2 cards on top, though. Is he doing this? He's doing this before or
No,
after?
he's letting this happen. He's like second main phase, brainstorm.
Okay.
Do we find the Zenith? Nope,
Yep.
doesn't get there. Brandon
He
taking this
did-
one down 2 games.
He did see the out there.
Yeah, Crimson Zenith would have done. Yeah, sure, any disenchant, but I think the only disenchants in Wayne's deck are named
Kasali
Kasali
Bright
Bright Mage.
Yeah.
Oh, for those wondering at home, so I would say Brandon, Jessica Stoneboy taking that one down in 3 games. Well, that means we only have one 3-0 deck because Wayne was paired down.
What's the 3-0?
Obviously, it's Zoo because Zoo is the best deck in Legacy. I think that's the only confirmed fact we've learned
Yeah.
from our days or weeks, I would say, streaming Legacy here at MTG Card Market.
Yeah.
Zoo is just unbeatable.
Yeah, there's like the tier 1 in Legacy, which is like Storm, Miracles, maybe Eldrazi.
Yeah.
But then there's the tier 0,
Yes.
which is Simon all by himself playing Zoo.
You know when you're like playing a video game and you're like it's you work in classes. You're like in class
This
B.
guy Salgado actually scooped.
Ooh.
Oh.
There'll be 2 undefeated going into this last round.
Okay.
Wow.
So, good guy Salgado.
As I was saying, you know, sometimes you play a video game and you're in like class B and you're like fighting your way up and you're like, all right, now I'm in class A. And then you think you've gotten there. You think you're at the top. Class A is the best. And then all of a sudden you're in class S.
Yeah.
That's Zoo. Class S.
S.
Top of the format. All right, so we have one more round. The 2 undefeated. So it looks like Brandon, because Brandon did decide to scoop there. The 2 undefeated decks are Bant, Maverick, and Zoo.
Interesting.
Savannah!
Hey, did Eldrazi win this round?
That was what Christopher was wondering.
Yeah.
Christopher dropped.
Oh. No Eldrazi this week.
Nope.
Very
Christopher
elusive.
Dropped, Alex dropped.
So I think it's
Yes.
time for us to watch our best deck.
Uh-huh.
Are you guys playing?
He's still playing. He's still split. I think we didn't intend to split. I don't know. You can
Yeah,
ask.
sure. Let's go.
But we wanted you to play for the camera. Doesn't matter.
You're required. I want to play
Well-
for the bathroom, but it's
All right,
loud.
you can play for the bathroom. All right, you can play Sony for the bathroom.
Anyways,
Are there
Roll
two-
dice against the wall.
There's a
There's
2-1 matchup we could probably watch. Right?
Yes.
I'm
What
going
is
for-
your record?
Fucking terrible.
Okay, great.
Not Tony.
We'll play. We'll play.
All right. So yeah, our undefeated decks are Zoo, as we said, best deck in Legacy, and
You didn't
Maverick.
have to play Storm.
and yes. For the record, I've played a lot of Zoo versus Storm, which I think a lot of people can't say, and I've lost probably half my games.
Yeah. Postboard is rough.
Eidolon of the Great Revel and Thalia. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
The worst part is when you draw Massacre and then they just Gaddock you, and you want to
Flip the table.
really lose it. It is truly
You
awful.
want to lose it or you do lose it?
Usually I lose it. Most people want to lose it. I'm ready with actually losing it.
One of the nice things, I think, for Zoo is no one has hate specifically for you.
What hate is there?
Disfigure. Most people don't
What is
play
Disfigure good against in that deck?
I mean, for the combo decks, it kills all of the hate creatures.
Oh, I mean, okay, yeah, that's true.
You know, like,
Disfigure's great.
a lot of people don't play Disfigure. A lot of people play like more specific things, like Abrupt Decay, like less efficient things, I guess.
Yes.
People play Abrupt Decay, Dark Blast,
Mhm.
Dread of Night, Massacre.
Yep, all those cards are good. I wonder how good Enchantress is against Zoo.
I would think very.
Very?
I think so.
Oh wow! Sorry,
Maybe not.
someone point out that we are one follower away from 666.
Nice.
So it looks like we need to get one more follower and then no more followers ever again.
Here, let me text Stefan.
No, absolutely not.
I'm sure he has another troll account that he can add to our follower list.
Yeah, I think that. By the way, for the record, in the Enchantress versus Zoo matchup,
Yeah.
I think Enchantress is favored.
Yeah.
I think Elephant Grass is really good against Zoo.
Yeah.
I know. I'm saying something crazy here.
There's like, I mean, again, there's Price of Progress, I guess, but there's
What? Enchantress plays like all basics.
There's some non-basic, I guess.
Yeah, there are like
not
4.
Yeah, I guess not a ton.
Simon was playing 1 Savannah for a while.
That's
1.
That's low, I think. I
I
think it's
don't think
low.
it is.
Maybe not.
I think they play like one Savannah, 1 or 2 Savannahs, and
Just
then
a
like
whole bunch of Sarah Sanctums.
3, and then the rest are basics. Wild growth, man. You need forests.
Wild Growth is very good.
In any case, I think we're gonna watch that last match. Are they already? I bet they already started playing. Hey, they didn't start playing, and Wayne even sat in the same spot.
Nice.
What a nice guy.
Just have to turn Brandon Salgado into Simon Camero, Master of Nakatals.
Lord of Nakatals, would you say?
No.
No, not really a lord.
Not the Lord.
He does not pump other Nakatals.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, this is our
Other cats.
Yes, sorry. Other cats, my mistake. These are our 3-0 players. Gonna get to see some sweet magic here. I have to imagine that Wayne is favored in this spot, but I'm very curious to see how it plays out. Price of Progress is still pretty good.
I agree.
It doesn't get worse. I feel like that's one thing that can be said about what a lot of, like, in general, Price of Progress in the store is that it's generally great.
I agree.
The only time it's kind of poor is against, like, what? Storm.
Yep.
Basically it? I don't know.
Price of Progress?
Yeah.
Not the best necessarily against Sneak It and Show.
Oh yeah, it's not great there either.
A lot of the time it is still 4 damage, which is kind of the baseline for an acceptable Price of Progress. Is you want it to be 4. You'd obviously prefer it to be 6. And Simon starting off fiery with a Goblin Guide, revealing Daze for Wayne, so no free land.
Man, Daze is so much worse when your opponent knows it's coming.
Oh yeah.
Good lord. Simon, of course, going to Chain Lightning this Noble Hierarch. Let's see if Wayne dazes it. He doesn't. Simon going to bash him with Goblin Guide again. We get another trigger. Find a Misty Rainforest for Wayne. And this is going to drop Wayne down to 15. I love the Chain Lightnings. Chain Lightning's such a sweet card. Anything close to a Lightning Bolt is sweet to me. I have a very narrow definition of sweet, apparently.
So Doff X definitely has a very legitimate question there. Yeah, we did see Wayne just lose a match on camera. He was paired down, though, in round 3 against Brandon Salgado. And the way that our prize structure is here at Card Market...
Top 4 players get paid.
Top 4 players get paid. It's also pretty top-heavy for first and second. So I think Brandon and Wayne are, familiar with each other. And Brandon did Wayne a solid, scooped Wayne into the 3-0 match.
Having a shot at getting first place is pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so end step bolt on this Noble Hierarch is going to get Daze. Simon just wants that Daze out of there. Oh man, he's got Gore Clan. This is definitely the Gore. No, he's not going to do it this turn. All right, so trigger. Reveal Batterskull. See if Wayne blocks. If Wayne blocks, he snaps off this Rampager, right?
I presume.
Okay, so no blocks, and we got an Eidolon of the Great Revel coming down. Wayne is in trouble. Wayne draws Batterskull for the turn. Plays Tropical Island for the turn, same one that Simon knew about. And there's Scavenging Ooze.
TARDIS Lover, MTG Card Market is located in Chicago, Illinois, on the north side of the city. If you're familiar with, it's not quite Wrigleyville, but...
Nah, it's Lakeview.
Yeah, Lakeview, near Wrigleyville. About maybe a half mile from Wrigley Field.
Yeah. Alright, so Scavenging Ooze is going to gain a life here. Block, and then get Gorkland. Oh boy.
Yikes.
Oh boy. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming across.
Yeah.
Dropping Wayne down to 6. Gorkland Rampager has always looks absurd.
It, I think, is very, very good when you don't expect it.
Oh man, I think it's crazy when you don't expect it. It's just good on its own.
Yeah, I mean...
How much can you really play around it if you're tapping out?
This is true.
It's uncounterable.
Yeah. I mean, if you're behind, there's often not much you can do. You can afford to do.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Wayne fetching right now. Let's see what he decides to go for. He knows that Simon has Price of Progress in his deck, and he probably wants to get white mana. Can't afford to get a basic. Can't get a basic plains here though. So Wayne gonna just Zenith for 3 and hope he's not dead. Notably, the Zenith for 3 doesn't deal him any damage through the Eidolon.
I think this Knight of the Reliquary is going to be a 5/5.
Yes, 3 fetch lands in the yard right now.
Yep.
Can't really ask for much more. There's Knight.
It's a great blocker.
Hope-
And the Zenith did not trigger Eidolon. So.
Yeah. I think Wayne's just on the hope I'm not dead plan.
Yeah. Simon moving very quickly. Seems like he might have it all locked up.
Hard to say. Simon always moves quickly.
This is very true. He is one of our fastest players.
Simon draws. He's got a Goyf in his hand. Looks like he just drew a Path. Yeah.
Path is pretty good. Path on Knight of the Reliquary.
This is close. This is going to put Wayne to 1 here.
So a trigger, Eidolon. Simon takes 2, but it allows him to get in with both of his creatures. Goblin Guide trigger.
Reveals Cradle and Wayne's done here. Scooping it up. Going to game 2.
I think he had Batter Skull in hand.
We might have missed a point.
Maybe,
But
yeah.
either
Maybe
way.
he was just dead.
Either way, it's conceding that game. Going to game 2 here. Zoo, once again proving its dominance.
Yeah, if anyone wasn't sure if Zoo was
Great.
S tier,
S.
the best tier,
Best tier.
best tier,
Top tier. Top tier, not close.
Yeah.
Zoo looks great. I'm loving it. It's just fantastic.
So sideboard cards that Wayne could be interested in here. Just as face up rocks Warmong.
The putting it face up
No
is
respect.
just awesome. And this true name.
Doesn't care.
Oh man. We have no Elves players here tonight.
I haven't seen elves here in a long time.
That's probably my fault.
So Captain QC. Characteristics of our metagame. A low amount of combo decks.
Yes.
We
in
have
general.
one sneak and show player consistently here. We
te-
often have a lot of Storm.
We tend to have between 1 and 3 Storm players.
Yeah.
It's rare we don't have Storm.
Yes. This is one night where we only had one Storm player. I would say on average Storm is usually like tied for our most popular deck. But as Phil attested to earlier, this version of Zoo that Simon plays, I don't think Storm is like a bad matchup. It's swingy, like it's very, very dependent on Simon drawing his hate cards, specifically Thalia, Eidolon, or sideboard like Gaddock Teague, or Ethersworn Canonist. But yeah, I mean, I think Zoo's kind of real, and especially when people aren't expecting it, it's even better. Our camera is freaking out currently.
Why?
Hopefully this kicks back in.
Here, let's switch back for a second. All right, our camera's working. Let's hop down. Uh-oh. That's not good.
That's not good.
I'm gonna... I don't know what's going on with our image real quick. Having a little
Phil
bit of an
do some
issue.
problem solving.
Uh-oh. It's disconnected. Yeah, it's definitely disconnected. Give me 1 second.
Do you want to toy with this back here?
Yep.
So I'll talk about our metagame. Otherwise, we typically have... Oh, Killer Beast. Yeah, you can totally ask a question. I'll answer the previous question about our metagame. We often have like a decent chunk of various Stoneforge Mystic decks. Ooh, our camera's working again.
Yep.
So like we have like some form of like blue, white, red blade a fair amount of the time. A good amount of like shardless bug. We don't have a ton of Delver, I would say.
No, we tend to have pretty low numbers of Delver. We always have like... I think we have like a higher than average representation of lands in general. And probably a much lower than average representation of miracles.
Yeah, we haven't had miracles really since Nick has stopped playing here.
Greg Ivy brought it, I think, last week, and he played Miracles. But yeah, very, very rarely do we have Miracles. Dredge, honestly, our resident Dredge player moved away.
Well, he first moved on to borrowing your Storm deck, and then he moved to Denver.
Yes. All right, looks like...
I would say if we have a most popular deck, it's probably Storm.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a decent amount of lands, too. Yeah, Killer Beast, you can also ask another question.
Okay. Ooh, Wayne keeping a one-lander with multiple Swords to Plowshares and not getting there on turn 1. Or on turn 2, excuse me. Turn 2 Pride Mage for Simon, immediately also getting Swords.
Portrait of Sanity, also, I have been told that street parking around the corner is not bad.
Nope, it's free after 6.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And our event starts at 7:30, so that's pretty neat.
All right, Wayne going with a turn 2 with a Stoneforge Mystic on turn 3 after hitting that land. Let's see what equipment he decides to get. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's got to be GTA here. All right, Simon hitting his 3rd land drop, cracking this Arid Mesa, going to 21. Currently has Forest and Plateau in play. The oft underrated Plateau, getting 2nd Plateau.
Oh yeah.
Man, I really would have expected Taiga there.
Needs the 2nd white source.
Oh yeah. I mean, does he? Maybe he does.
Maybe he does.
He's got a Eidolon of the Great Revel and a pass back.
I think it.
All right, Wayne finding his 3rd land here, immediately cracking it and going to 19. Hasn't taken damage this game. Has just swords Simon's first 2 creatures. Critical for him killing that Kasali Pride Mage to protect this Jitte. Now he's got all his colors, 3 different green, white, blue dual lands. Now it's just up to him how he wants to proceed. I think he's got Rock's Warmug. Yes! Oh, let's pull up the Pancake Rhino.
Trigger on Eidolon.
Rock's Warmug.
Wayne dropping to 17 to play that Rhino Monk.
Simon immediately pathing it. Taking
Wayne,
2 in the process.
Wayne does have a basic to fetch, though.
I think he's got, the 1 Forest. Simon gets an attack for 2 here. Don't think we'll see Wayne block.
My question now is, does Simon have another answer? Yeah, he does. So I mean, he has the extra fetch land, so it doesn't really matter, but I think we're seeing now why Simon got the 2nd Plateau is because he had 2 white removal spells. He has another path in hand.
Ooh, that's pretty solid here.
So Wayne might go for the very powerful play with
Jitte equip.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't attack very well into Nikadal, but it does get counters on the Jitte. I mean, that might just be the wrong way to approach this turn, though.
I'm not sure what enchantment hate Simon has in his sideboard outside of Kasali Pride Mage.
Eternal Witness, get back Swords to Plowshares.
This is going to deal him a bunch of damage. And he's going to Swords the Nikadal.
So 2 triggers there.
Oop. Oh no, 20, right? Alright, Simon going to go down and, oh my god, 19 here, fetching again. Man, this Eidolon has done a lot of damage to both players.
Yeah.
But 3 Swords to Plowshares being cast for Wayne. Wayne aggressively ignoring the no cell phone rule. I respect it.
Yeah.
We're regular REL here.
Wayne, a very busy guy.
See what Simon's got going for him now. He's got the Eidolon. He's facing down a potential Jitte and equip next turn. So he has 1 removal spell to help with that. Alright, passing back. Wayne plays Jitte, equips it, and attacks. Simon paths it. Trigger. I think he might have missed the one on him on the Jitte.
Ooh.
That creature's dead. Let's see if Wayne has another play here. It doesn't appear that he does.
Oh, he does. Wow.
Wait, didn't he already play a land this turn?
Which land?
I could be wrong. That's fine. No, he didn't. He played a 5th land last turn because he already had 4.
He got ramped because of the 1 path.
Yep, you're right. You're right. All right, so Thalia in play. There's a Kurt Ape. Simon takes 2 more. This Eidolon has done an absurd amount of damage
to both players.
I think Wayne's actually at 7 right now.
Ooh, draws Sword of Fire and Ice. This turn's gonna hurt for Simon.
Oh, yes. So he activates. Oh, no, he didn't take damage off the Jitte because he put it into play off the Stoneforge.
Okay.
So double equip. Oh, boy.
An answer to this Thalia would be really good.
1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 damage to Simon, putting him to 11.
Yep.
So that the 2 damage is going to take out the Eidolon, draw him a card, and he's just going to pass.
Yeah, and Wayne now in a pretty commanding position.
Simon does have Ancient Grudge, I think. Oh, no, he just says Goblin Guide. I thought that was Ancient Grudge. I'm insane.
Similar colors on the art.
All right, attacks with both. Trigger. We reveal Underground Sea
Underground Sea, what?
for the Deathrite Shaman.
Oh my god.
It takes 2 going down to 5. If Simon just had Price here, that would just be rude. I don't think Wayne has a great comeback. I mean, I don't think Simon has a great way to come back from this, though. Ancient Grudge, like, if he has Ancient Grudge at some point,
Price of Progress would be completely absurd.
we'll just kill him.
Yeah. Simon would have casted last turn.
I agree. All right, so we have an attack for 4. Depends where these triggers are going. So he's going to go 2 to this at the ape and then kill it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is putting Simon down to 7. And then Wayne going to Green Sun Zenith for 1
Yep.
or for 2. Let's see how many he wants to do it for. He's going to do it for 2.
Yeah.
Goes to get Scavenging Ooze and passes back to Simon. Does Simon draw a Price? He does not. We're going to game 3. I gotta say, I do appreciate the speed with which both of these players are playing.
It is breakneck.
Oh yeah, they're not messing around. Both Wayne and Simon are both very, very quick players.
Busy guys.
Yeah, they got places to be, stuff to do.
Yeah, at 10 p.m. on a Thursday.
It's interesting. So like, I was gonna try and make an argument that Jace is a reasonable option from Wayne's deck, but I can't imagine that it is. I don't think it's actually that bad on the play. Simon does have only 4 haste creatures, the Goblin Guides, but Gorkon Rampager kind of has haste.
Mm-hmm.
Jace is just good against Eidolon.
Yeah.
Like, having something that can deal with an Eidolon without triggering it is relevant. Like, his only other way to do that is Zenith for Kasali Pride Mage.
Right.
Yeah.
Zenith for Rock's War Monk is also a pretty hot one.
Oh man, I mean that's really what we're here for. That's why you play Legacy. Zenith for Rock's War Monk.
Yeah. Turn 1 Lackey, I think Eidolon got killed by a Sword of Fire and Ice trigger there. Yeah, Tunneling Cat, we are definitely in Central Time, located in Chicago, Illinois.
Beautiful
If,
Chicago,
if,
Illinois.
if anyone's unfamiliar with our normal streaming schedule, I know we have a few more guests than we have in past weeks currently. But so we stream Legacy every Thursday night at 7:30 Central Time. We usually do 4 rounds, and it is typically commentated by this idiot sitting next to me,
Yeah.
Phil,
Yep.
and myself, another idiot.
Yes.
And Wednesday nights, other people do Modern. Although I think next week you and I are going to do Modern.
Yep, we're talking Modern next week. It's going to be the last, we assume, I
Yeah.
think we've heavily assumed, last Eldrazi influenced Modern.
Well, so heavily influenced.
Oh, come on. Okay, like,
What if only Eye of Ugin gets banned?
it's so much worse.
It obviously is.
Is it a tier 1 deck still? Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, it might be like 1.5.
Still turn 2 with Thought Knots here.
Yeah.
Just way
Just get
less
lucky.
often.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I won't miss it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna miss that in Modern.
Simon very quickly mulliganing his opening hand, had at least 4 lands in it. Can't imagine he can comfortably keep any 7-card hand with 4 lands.
Agreed.
Drawing 1 more land is basically a death knell at that juncture.
Like a lot, I agree. I really want to see the Eldrazi deck in Legacy as well.
It's pretty good. It's a good deck.
I might have to take the task upon myself.
Oh, I see. You're going to fall on that sword for all of us.
It's not falling on a sword, it's building a sweet deck.
Yeah, I call that falling on a sword. Pardon me. Wayne notably keeping his 7. It does have the Forest in his hand, so any Path to Exiles from Simon are going to be real good.
Yeah. Simon keeping his 6 and scrying to the top.
Wonder if that's... Yeah, I was going to say, one of those
Immediately-
fake scry to the tops.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's got to start things off. Looks like it is it's a red producing land.
In those situations,
Plateau.
where you know that you're just immediately going to shuffle, do you always keep on top? Or,
Snap top.
Yeah.
It's less movement.
It is. Also, it's scarier.
Oh yeah, it's like look top, and they're just like, oh god, and then you just fetch it away immediately.
You look, you put it down, then you look them right in their soul, and you say top.
And they don't care.
Yeah, they probably don't.
All right, Wayne gonna start revealing Green Sun Zenith off of that Goblin Guide, and immediately Green Sun Zenith for 0 to start things off. So we have a trigger on the stack right now from this Goblin Guide attack again. See what we reveal. It is a Savannah, goes to Wayne's hand. Let's see if he decides to chump block with this Dryad Arbor. I can't imagine he will. It's going to drop Wayne down to 16. Oops. Not a plus. It's an accident.
Ooh.
And then just a Chain Lightning on the Dryad Arbor and a pass. Turn 2 Thalia going to show up for Wayne here. So I'm going to end step fetch down to 18. Probably going to pick up a Taiga?
Yep.
Nope. Another Plateau.
Oh. Really likes Plateau.
Look, Plateau is a pretty great dual land.
Proving to us that he owns 2 copies.
Yeah, Simon, one of 3 people in the world who owns 2 Plateaus.
The other person's... Well, one of the other 2 people is also in the room tonight.
Yes.
Bob has 2 beta ones.
Those are the 2 ones. All right, Chain Lightning taking down this Thalia here. Goblin Guide getting in for another 2, revealing Noble Hierarch, dropping Wayne down to 14. This is an uphill battle from Simon, I think.
Yeah.
Wayne just flipping this into play, deciding what else he wants to play with it.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to be Caracas and another Thalia. It's interesting that like Simon's deck doesn't have that many spells in it, but Thalia is just a first strike blocker.
Mm.
Oh yeah, the 3-mana Sylvan Library and a pass back to Wayne, and it looks like Wayne is going to try and wrest control of this game away from Simon. He does have a Stoneforge Mystic to follow up, and that's going to be pretty. It's really going to put Simon to the test here.
Yeah. These are a lot of cards that are kind of hard for Simon to interact with. Thalia is very good against Goblin Guide.
Yep. That's probably the only reason he boarded it in.
Yeah.
I think that, and he just like didn't want any of his counter spells.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're able, like, he just wants to be a Maverick deck post board.
Yeah, you want to be very you want to just play to the board as much as possible.
Yeah. Okay, so Wayne going to Zenith for 2 here, but it costs 1 extra. Going to pick up this Kasali Pride Mage. Let's decide. I think he's going to attack first with... is he going to attack? No, he's just going to kill the...
Could have attacked for 4.
But then he can't block.
Yeah.
Simon has to draw a...
Ooh, that's a good-looking Tarmogoyf.
Yeah. Simon would have had to draw a Gorkland Rampage to attack through this Thalia.
I think it's a 4/5?
We have enchant. Yeah, it is a 4/5 according to our die.
Mm-hmm.
Enchantment, creature, sorcery, and land. No instance.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, and no instance in Wayne's hand either. All right, Wayne's got Deathrite Shaman and Stoneforge Mystic in the wait. Let's see how he wants to start things off. Looks like it's going to be this Stoneforge Mystic.
For everyone in the chat giving advice to the poor high school kid who's hoping to get into Legacy somehow, which I have been in the past, yeah, right now seems like it could be a really, really good time to get some Eldrazi cards on the cheap. And that seems like probably the cheapest Tier 1 or nearly Tier 1 Legacy deck to build at this point. It seems like a really good idea.
All right, Wayne going to fetch up Batterskull with this Stoneforge Mystic and then play Deathrite Shaman to follow it up. And then another Noble Hierarch and then a pass back to Simon. This board flooding is really problematic. But Simon did draw Gorkland Rampager. We'll see if he could seal this game. This is a tough spot to be in. So here's Goblin Guide Trigger. Reveals Sylvan Library on Wayne's side. The Sylvan Library Mirror. Who would have thunk it? So this is a block of Thalia there. Have to imagine we Gorkland the Tarmogoyf here. Oh, he's just going to go for Gorklanding over the Thalia. Wayne could block here.
Well, it's already blocking. Right?
Sorry, he could Caracas it back.
Yeah, just to save it, because it's only saving 1 point of damage.
Yeah, so Wayne takes 6 from this.
Yep.
Going down to 7. Let's see if Simon wants to bolt anything. Bolt is just like not that good here. He's just going to get Batterskull next turn.
Price of Progress. That's what Simon's open to draw, I think.
Yeah, he knows Batterskull, he knows Thalia in Wayne's hand, both of which are extremely problematic here.
Indeed.
He needs to be able to fight through this Batterskull, but he just doesn't have an out right now. He might have a path.
Sure.
He has a white card in his hand.
Lightning Bolt and, yeah, some white card. Might be Path.
All right, so Wayne, since the Stoneforge Mystic does live, only has to hold up the 2 mana to vial in the Batterskull. So he starts things off with a Thalia. Let's see if he wants to proceed any further. So Simon's going to respond.
Bolt,
Think-
targeting...
This has got to be going after Deathrite or Wayne's face.
Yeah.
Or that. Oh, he wants to do
Ooh.
this now. Okay. So he's making him put this into play.
Okay.
Stoneforge dies. Batterskull gets a germ.
Has a Path in hand.
So the path.
Can go after the token.
Oh, there we go. Gilbert Arenas. Agent Zero. Showing up. Passes back to Simon. Simon untaps.
There are some lethal draws here.
If he had like a Revelry or something like that, that would be pretty insane. Ooh, he drew the Pride Mage!
Wow.
What a draw. Good lord.
And Wayne does not have the 3 mana.
So, Exalted.
So declares the attack, I think before blocks.
So-
So after the Exalted trigger.
So he goes attack, probably before blocks.
Yeah.
Yep. Kill your Batterskull so you have no chance to block it. This is... Now the Tarmogoyf is a 6/7.
And it has an Exalted trigger, so it's lethal.
But Wayne does have the Caracas Thalia combo, so he blocks and just bounces his Thalia back to his hand.
It does slow him down on mana.
Yes. But now he has no Batterskull. He can try and fight back with this, try and restock slowly with this
Eternal Witness?
Sylvan Library.
Oh.
I mean, he could, witnessing back that Batterskull
Batterskull?
seems completely reasonable.
It's slow.
Yes.
That's the downside.
But he's just going to play Caracas, given that it's as many blockers as he needs.
So he plays Library, then Thalia, leaves up Caracas for Thalia.
He's deciding how he wants to tap this. He's just going to play Tropical Island. He needs to hold up green so he can start eating creatures with this Deathrite Shaman.
Okay.
So Simon gets to untap. He has Path in his hand.
Draws Taiga. So
We go attack with Tarmogoyf. Wayne goes block, probably attempt to Caracas it.
So this is essentially, a 3 mana tax that these players have circled into of Thalia fogging the Tarmogoyf.
Yep.
Wayne having the library, though, is just digging him closer and closer to a way to stop the Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, and he just found a Knight of the Reliquary here, which is going to be pretty big. I think it's only a 5/5 at the moment.
And Wayne's at 9, not 8, noticeably.
Yeah. So, Path in response to the Thalia. No search because the 1 basic is already in play.
Yeah. Price of Progress?
Nope.
Mountain.
Basic Mountain.
Think we might see Simon finally lose on camera.
Block, bounce Thalia. Simon has no other effects. Wayne didn't have the mana available to activate Deathrite on that last turn.
Library sees 3 lands.
But luckily, 1 is a fetch land,
Yep.
so he's going to be able to get rid of these cards. He still has that Eternal Witness. He's just building up to enough mana so he can witness and get back Batterskull. I think that's what he's going to target here.
Seems like it. He has enough mana that he can play the Batterskull.
Probably he's going to go for Stoneforge Mystic to go get Jitte.
Okay.
I have to imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Jitte immediately right on the bottom of that library. And then next turn he can start getting counters on there. He
Value.
doesn't have the Thalia up this turn.
Curd Ape.
The Thalia Caracas combo.
Yeah.
Notably, he also... I guess he has this, which is a green source here. But yeah, attack with both... Oh, True Name Nemesis. That is a problem. With that Jitte, that has got to be close to game over for Simon.
I think Simon's kind of on the burn plan now.
And just hope it works out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wayne just immediately blocks both the creatures, trades with Goblin Guide, chumps the Tarmogoyf. Simon plays Curd Ape and just plays his mountain, passes the turn back to Wayne. And now Wayne is not going to crack this fetch land. He's not going to gain 2 life because drawing this... Oh no, he is going to fetch it away.
Wow.
I'm pretty surprised to see that.
Maybe he's just looking for ways to gain life.
Yeah, I think he just really puts a lot of value on activating this Death Right every single turn.
Looking for Rocksworn Monk.
That's the missing card here.
Oh yeah.
Let's pull up Sylvan Library.
Yeah, Wayne gaining 2 off of his death rate.
Sylvan
And
Libraries.
then, library on upkeep.
Oh boy, and that's just straight gasoline. Stoneforge Mystic, Green Sun Zenith, and Brainstorm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Seems good.
we draw the Brainstorm. We get to Brainstorm.
You caught the
Next turn?
2 life gain at the end of Simon's turn, right?
I did.
Okay, cool. Good job, Phil.
Wayne gonna play Jitte. Put Jitte probably on Noble Hierarch? I mean, I don't even know what he's gonna put it on. Both these creatures, I mean, like, he doesn't really want to lose his... I mean, he's not going to lose his Death Right. He's just going to play Thalia. He doesn't have a great creature to equip it to just yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think right now, Wayne, considering this Brainstorm, kind of a value spew. Yeah, he's just going to equip the Jitte and pass back. I think his intention is chumping this turn.
Is that Forked Bolt?
It is Forked Bolt.
Nope. Wait, yes.
Forked Bolt, 1 on Thalia,
Ooh.
1 on Noble Hierarch.
Pretty good.
I mean, Wayne probably just has to bounce the Thalia.
Yeah, and then Simon actually gets a pretty decent attack in.
Yeah, and Wayne has to chump block the Goyf almost certainly, or else he goes to 2. Yeah, he's going to bounce the Thalia. That dies, attacks with both. If Wayne doesn't chump block this Goyf, yeah, he does go down to 2 life, putting him well within burn range. Although he has to assume that Simon doesn't have a good card in his hand. He's been holding 1 card forever. He's just going to take it.
Yeah,
So he goes to 2.
they're confirming life totals. Yeah, Wayne calls Simon's play here. Now, Wayne does get to get a hit in with Jitte.
Ooh, that was probably the best card he could have found there.
Swords to Plowshares.
So this lets him... He doesn't have exactly enough white mana to play Thalia and Swords and Caracas Thalia.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's going to be all right.
Leads with Thalia.
Attacks with Death Right. For 1, Simon's going to go to 17.
Wayne at virtual 6.
Let's see if he decides to Swords now or later.
I think it makes sense to wait. Draws Tarmogoyf, does Simon.
So attacks with both these creatures. Swords on Goyf is going to gain Simon 6 life. Going up to 23. Let's see if he just chump blocks. Yeah, he goes chump block and then -1/-1 it before regular damage. Even before, whatever. Library finds just more gasoline. We see at least a Green Sun Zenith there. Let's see what Wayne took off of this. This is an uphill battle. Oh, True Name Nemesis has got to be the nail in the coffin here.
Yowza.
So we equip the Thalia with Jitte and an attack. So Simon could block. Wayne goes pump. First strike is 4. And then, he can't kill it.
Mm-mm.
I guess he can go first strike and then bounce the Thalia. Yeah, that's what he's going to do.
Just to get more.
Yeah, just to get
life
counters.
gain.
I mean,
Price of Progress is lethal.
is Gore Clan? Yeah. Block.
Oh my god.
Skull Crack. What?
Damage cannot be prevented.
So I think we're going to see a response of gain 6 life. So, what? Go to 8. Go down to 5. Damage can't be prevented this turn.
So True Name dies.
So True Name dies.
Wow.
Okay.
Skullcrack.
Wow. Finding ways to sneak his way back into this game. I mean,
My god.
Simon is scrapping. Scrapping here. But yeah, the True Name will die. Wayne finds a wasteland, takes out one of those plateaus, and it attacks.
Jitte on death rate. 2 counters.
We still have this Thalia, right?
Yeah.
Brainstorm here. Oh, there's another Swords. He's just going to hold back the Thalia with Caracas combo again. There's an attack. Block.
Draws Curd Ape.
Curd Ape, go.
Simon cannot buy a Price of Progress.
No, can't do it to save his life. Wayne has not come close to finding an answer to it either. Wayne drawing Green Sun Zenith for this turn. Trying to see how big I think a potential Knight of the Reliquary would be. This has been a much longer game than I would have expected.
Yeah.
Zenith for 3. Are we getting a Knight? This has got to be a Knight.
Hey, man.
Nope.
It's a monk.
Pancake Rhino. Get in there. Rock's Warmonk.
We pull up Rock's Warm.
I will gladly pull up Rock's Warmonk. Man, what a
Looking for that lifelink.
Shards of Alara uncommon. Rock's Warmonk.
Card seems very good.
Deathrite getting in there. Simon just snap blocks. I think Wayne is just going to go pump once. Yeah, so he gets Simon effectively trading his credit for 1 counter, which is 2 life.
Mm-hmm.
Another, I think it's the 4th
Oh my
Curd Ape.
God.
Jesus. Curd Ape. And a pass.
Doesn't want Wayne to get the life there. Simon gaining 6
So
from the Swords to Plowshares end of turn.
I think we're getting close to out of Price of Progress range.
Yeah.
Is that another GT? Oh, as a Scavenging Ooze? Yeah, now I think we're
This is too much life.
just
gained.
about there.
This would have to be running Price of Progresses now.
Warmonk getting in there. Let's see if Simon has any effects here. So Wayne just going to... Is he going to kill it? Yeah, he kills the Curd Ape, right? Is that what the 3 counters?
I think he might have gained 6 life.
So 6... Or he pumped. He pumped.
Oh.
So
to give
6,
lifelink.
7, 8, 9.
Wow.
So he goes to 14. Simon goes to 19.
This is Gore Clan after Curd Ape is blocked by Thalia.
So let's say that is a 6/7. This die is convenient here. He does play Price of Progress. He just has not drawn any copies of it. So right now Wayne's seeing if he can do anything about this. I think he just takes the damage. Oh, he's gonna bounce it back.
He gained 2. He took off 1 counter to gain 2 life, but then is taking 6 trample damage.
So he goes to 10.
I think so.
I believe that's what we have here.
They might have them at 8. It's hard to quite tell what Simon has written on his pad.
Wayne gonna gain 2 life, go to 12, eating a creature on end step with Deathrite Shaman. Yeah, it's a second Jitte. Okay. He's gonna draw Green Sun Zenith here, since it is a spell he can cast and not be sad. So Jitte pumps. It's an attack for 5. Wayne gonna go to 17. Simon gonna go to 14.
Yeah, Wayne just grinding Simon out. Simon came so close.
Oh, he finally found a price. 1, 2, 3, 4,
It's 10
5.
damage.
So,
I think we're gonna see Simon concede.
oh yeah. Wayne taking this one down in a crazy game 3.
Oh my god.
I gotta. Wow. Bant Maverick, Bant Stoneblade taking down Zoo in 3. Well, honestly, 2 not close games, and then 1 extremely close game.
One game that was the emotional equivalent of, I don't know, a week.
Wow. I'm pretty sure there's 1 Skullcrack in Simon's sideboard.
Oh yeah.
I'm drained.
I am too.
From watching that was awesome. That's a back and forth I did not expect.
That was a lot of Rock's Warmonk.
That's probably more Rock's Warmonk than I've ever seen in Legacy in my life.
I have more than I've ever seen.
By like a fairly wide margin.
Yeah.
Any case, that's going to wrap up our stream for the night. I think that's a perfect note to end this on. Wanted to thank all our viewers from tuning in tonight. Really appreciate it. Just to reiterate our stream schedule. Wednesdays at 7:30 Central, we have Modern here at MTG Card Market in Chicago. And Thursdays, 7:30 Central, we have Legacy.
Indeed. And yeah, that's all I have.
If you're in Chicago, come to the pre-release.
Yeah.
Playing this week. Greg and I'll both be there. Play some Magic.
Yeah, I'll be at all 4 because
Yep.
I'm a crazy person. You'll be at the Friday and the Saturday?
Yeah, I'll be Friday midnight and Saturday noon.
Okay.
It's going to be great. I'm going to play until I can't move.
Yeah, hopefully we figure out, what the good commons are,
Mm-hmm.
what to be looking for in the format.
Yep, it's going to be sweet. I'm really excited to get into some Shadows of Innistrad. Next week, Greg and I will be commentating some Modern, so come check us out.
Yeah.
and we-
it breaks Enchantress and Legacy. Now you have to play Helm of Obedience.
Okay, thank you, Simon. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and have a great pre-release.
Bye.
Bye-bye.